So I want to give you an update on some of my top reads for January. There was quite a few that came out that I really liked, but these ones really took the cake. You know, they were really I think the cream of the crop, and as far as my opinion, a lot of them I will say are how do I say it? Oh yeah, they're part of a series already. um so they're not necessarily like the first, and you probably should read others before getting to them, but they definitely were amazing and you should know about them. I think a lot of these were actually published this January, but I think a few of them might have come out last year. Either way, I highly recommend these, and I think you might, if you haven't heard about them, you might like them too. So the first one is by TJ Nichols, called Ogres and Other Dating Dilemmas. Now, this is kind of like a standalone, but it's also tied to TJ Nichols' Mythos series, which I think is amazing and very well done. It is both fantasy / urban paranormal fantasy. It's kind of weird. It's basically like another mythical fantastical kind of realm somehow got pulled into ours, and so it takes place in, I want to say, San Francisco. It's definitely California. I'm pretty sure it's San Francisco. And so humans and everybody are dealing with this influx of basically mythical creatures and kind of like an apocalyptic-ish setting. But that's already kind of been established with the Mythos series. So by the time we get to Ogres and Other Dating Dilemmas, this focuses on Troy and Sean, who are some side characters. Troy is an ogre, and he's trying to figure out his way here. He's kind of like a loner almost, although he's been hanging out with the ogres. He doesn't really get along with them. And then we have Sean, who is a really good friend to the main character of the Mythos series. He is human, but he really likes the size difference. And I just thought these characters were very well done. It's a little bit, I wouldn't say lighter necessarily than the Mythos series. It does kind of bring up topics of like a cross-culture difference, because Troy, being from an ogre background and another realm, has like different expectations, different mannerisms a little bit, but he has, by the time he crashed here, he was kind of like, I don't know, late teen or a young adult, so he's kind of taken on a few mannerisms as well, like American mannerisms, so it's kind of like he's playing like this between worlds. And then Sean is trying to figure himself out as well. He feels like he just, you know, he's like one of those like, something must be wrong with me. I'm just gonna, these two kind of just hook up for thinking it's gonna be a one night stand, a hot one night stand, and it kind of ends up being a little bit of a longer term. I just thought that these two guys just really supported each other very well. TJ Nichols, for the most part, I like his stuff. He's an Australian writer, but this series in general just hit something with me. I just really enjoyed it, and I hope you check it out. All right, the next one, we got Lily Morton with Something Wicked. So I know I had Lily Morton in one of my top 15s of last year, but she's an amazing author. And this is an established couple between Blue and Levi, part of the Black and Blue series, because it's Blue is his first name and then Levi Black. This is an interesting ghost story. Blue is a medium. He can see spirits, and actually these tend to be a little bit, I will say, on the darker kind of scary side, a little bit horror-ish without being terribly big on the horror. I'm not a big horror fan, but this one like kind of like I did not sleep while reading this book. I literally, as soon as I picked it up, I had to finish it. I had to know. It's like this one is like dealing with, there's some murders going on, and then Blue gets targeted, and then there's something else. There's like this psychic power kind of thing threaded through it, and it was just a really well mystery that kind of slowly unwraps all the clues until we finally put it together. Now, I mean, you might put it together before the end, but I think it like unwraps slow enough that like you're just not sure until you get there, until you like reach the finish line with the book, and I really like that. you know, like Lily Morton does amazing characters. The side characters are awesome as always. It's kind of nice seeing an established couple, so you don't have to like find this will they, won't they. They're already there. They're already together. Even though they are like kind of established, Blue is still, he's got like this past, so he's still like, even though he's like, I know you love me and I love you, he's still like trying to trust sometimes. And I think we really see like the final click here. I hope there's more. It seems like there's something on the horizon for sure coming up, but this one was really well done. You definitely have to kind of read this one in order though, otherwise if you jump in, I think you'll get lost and you'll be like, who are these side characters, why do I care about this? So I do recommend starting with the first one in this series, but please pick it up, it's amazing. Then we've got if you like a little forbidden lovers, we've got A Ruin Me by A. Nash or Ariana Nash. This is a priest / mafia. You know, it is going to be a romance, but these guys, I love it because it's got a really realistic feel to it. So there's it's still quite violent. Vitali is part of an Italian mob. He's a mafioso, and then Francis is a British priest. And so there's like this whole, like, both of them have like this internal battle with themselves over their wants versus desires. It's definitely not, either one of their environments is not conducive to this relationship. But they are just like oil and fire. They light up when they're together. It is really well done. I would say the tension is really well done, and it's a high heat, but it's not like there's a lot. This is actually the second in the series. The first is the Forgive Me, and then we have Ruin Me, and then there's gonna be a third coming out soon. All right, it's called Save Me, and I want it so bad. So you have to read these in order so you see like how they meet, what they keep referencing what happens in Venezuela, which is in the first book, and then now they're here where like they just this push pull, like they like, you know, can't seem to like stay away from each other. It's really well done. Highly recommend it. Then we have The Night of Staria by Iris Foxglove. another author from last year, but I really love Iris Foxglove. Now this one's a little interesting because it was only written by one of the two. Iris Foxglove is a duo, a pair of authors, but it still reads pretty well like the others that are written by both. So I think if you're familiar with their work, you'll like it. Also, I do recommend reading the Staria Chronicles before this one, because the main character and trans representation is a trans masculine character, Eli. You see the events that he is holding himself against, the ones that make him feel like he doesn't deserve nice things, the betrayal that he feels was like, you know, he just can't get over. You see all those events from his brother's point of view in the Staria Chronicles. So it's actually like he sees his brother being kind of pardoned, and he's actually left to hang. And so you kind of see just like where he's coming from and why. And I really like that, but I think you get more out of it if you read from the first of the Staria Chronicles. Also, you see a lot of the characters from that come through, and I don't think it had the same impact, if I'm being honest. It's really good though. I mean, you can't go wrong with an Iris Foxglove story. And the second character is Ray, who is not quite human. It's not quite a god. It's more like an immortal spirit. He's been immortalized through the power of story, basically, and he's he's like this like fox spirit that transforms into it. He's mostly human. He actually should be the other way around. He transforms into a fox, but he always gets himself into trouble. He pulls pranks, and but there's like this serious backstory to him as well, and he always feels like a coward. And so these two together are on this journey to end the King of the Hunt, which is another immortalized spirit in this land. And just a really good story and the excellent character development. I highly recommend. Their writing is just top notch. And last but not least, because there were a lot of great reads, and these aren't in any particular order. It's not like this one's better than that one. They're a little bit different. And I just, kind of how they came to me. But MateHub Legend by Marie Reynard is the last one I'll talk about this time. It's actually my first book by her. I've never read any of her other things, but I will from now on. I thought she did a really good job here. What could have been kind of like a shallow, just overly comedic romance actually had a lot of hidden depth to it. I was kind of surprised by that. I really liked it. We got another paranormal. I hope you like paranormal or urban fantasy. It's not really a fantasy though. This is just a paranormal romance, and you got some wolf shifters, you got some mages, and then you've got some humans. And this one deals with Richard, who is a wolf shifter, and Hunter, who is a human, and both of them are in the adult entertainment business. So they basically here, it's a little bit of forced proximity. They're two adult entertainers, and they are contracted to work together. And during this time, they are it's not forced proximity, but they are required to share basically like a living space for over, I would say, 2 to 3 weeks, something like that. And they have to film, I think it's like 7 scenes, and so they kind of like get together and learn each other through this time that's spent together. And you kind of like learn why so and so's like, how, like why they are the way they are, basically. And you see just like a lot of like nice, cute, like unpeeling, like Richard's supposed to be like this cold, hard veteran, and yet here he is. He does all the cooking and taking care of Hunter, and Hunter's supposed to be like this, almost like a rookie, like novice, and he's just like a lot of fun. He just loves life, which is really cool. So I just thought it was really well done. And there's if you like the nodding, this does have nodding in it. So for those in the know, highly recommend. And that's my hot takes for January. Let me know in the comments if you have read them, if you're planning on reading them, if you have any other hot reads from the month. I'm hoping to do a little roundup every month going forward, kind of something like this, and I hope you'll stick around for more. If you do like this kind of content, please subscribe. You'll get notifications and all the good stuff for when these go live. All right. Thank you so much.